What's up, my Fina loves? It's Miss Fina D coming to you all from Vina Team and Unfiltered. So during the pandemic, I'm browsing social media like everyone else. I'm bored. I'm in the house and all of that. And I'm on Instagram, and this video and page was suggested to me. And I click on this young lady page, and she's eating her chips and cracking jokes and all of that. And next thing you know, I started watching all of her videos. So that's how I was introduced to Elsa during the pandemic.
When we are meant to meet at 1 and you arrive at 1, that's on you. That's on you. You chose to make that choice as an individual. I will arrive 2 hours late and I will stroll in like I own the place. When I say I'm 5 minutes away, I'm in the bathroom, taking my sweet time, singing along to Beyonce. We agreed to meet at 2 and you actually come at 2. Do you know me? Do you know who I am? It's not like I'm doing it on purpose. When you say 4, my body hears 6. Making you wait like that makes me feel nothing. I actually sleep quite well at night, knowing exactly who I am.
Next thing you know, Rihanna followed her, followed by the brand deals. She's on the cover of Forbes, Teen Vogue. Steve Harvey, her life just took off. Okay. Now, Elsa adjusted her brand where she went from, the previous videos you saw to coming on camera, showing her outfit of the day. And now she does videos where she's applying all of these different products to her skin. Her makeup is done to perfection, and she's telling her stories and things that she's been through in her personal life and in the industry. And one of the stories she just told recently that is currently breaking the internet is her experience with Naomi Campbell. And that's the reason why I've been flashing Naomi pictures on the screen with Elsa. So let's get into that video and her story.
Talk about Naomi Campbell. Talk about Naomi Campbell. There's Naomi, your mentor. Relax. Relax. I'm here to tell you today what happened. So, in December 2020, Naomi was coming to Nairobi to do some shopping. She was on holiday, but on a remote place. So she was in Nairobi doing shopping. And I texted her and she told me she's in Nairobi. So I was so excited to meet her. She was the first celebrity I was ever going to meet. Guys, I was through the roof. She texted me, she was like, hey, I'm here. She texted me the location. I went directly. I went with my brother. So my brother and I, we met her, we did some shopping. And as we're shopping, she's like, oh, the plane that's taking us back actually has a couple more seats. Do you and your brother want to join us on holiday? Hell yes. So I was like, oh, that would be so lovely. But I texted my dad, I said, hey, get the car ready. I'm coming to the house. We are going to the airport in an hour to meet Naomi Campbell so she can take me on vacation. So we go on vacation. We had like a very nice vacation. Naomi took care of me the whole entire time. We were staying on the beach, or doing this, and then that, eating, just having fun, what people do on vacation. And this one time we were on the beach, Naomi was like, oh, we should do a documentary, a film about you live in Kenya. And I was like, oh yeah, that's fantastic. She introduced me to a couple of people in Hollywood. It was so lovely. So a couple of people she was on vacation with were coming to Nairobi after the vacation. They were staying at the Kempinski. So I went to see them at the Kempinski when the whole thing was over. So I sat down with them. I was talking to one of them, and one of them was like, oh, it's so, like, how did you meet Naomi? And I was like, oh no, I texted her on Instagram, blah, blah. And she was like, oh yeah, she told us like she made you and she built you and she made your career. And I was like, what? No, that's not what happened. And I was like, you mean like helped me and like promoted me? And she was like, no, like what you have is because of her. And I was like, oh yeah, no, that didn't happen. It is very important you remember that part for later. Okay, so time goes by. March 2022. We have jumped into March 2022. I get a phone call. My phone is ringing. Naomi Campbell. Oh, so I pick up, I'm like, hey sis, like, how are you doing? And she's like, Elsa, how dare you? Oh, so I'm in shock, right? I don't know what's going on. So I had just So let me tell you what happened, the context of this phone call. So I had just finished the previous year, I had done a documentary on my life, about bullying, about growing up with colorism, all these things, about comedy, where I fell in love with comedy. So the film was debuting at Tribeca Film Festival, and someone from Tribeca asked Naomi if she was coming, and Naomi thought the film was the film she had suggested to me on the beach about me leaving Kenya. So I was like, no, that's not what it's about. I tried explaining to her, and then she was like, I'll sue you for the rights of this movie, and I'll win, right? So I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm like, this is crazy. I'm telling you, it's not about that. So I tell her, let me call you tomorrow. And she asked me, like, why didn't you tell me when I told you at the beach? And I was like, you're Naomi Campbell. Like, I was starstruck. It took me very long to, like, process that moment. And I was like, I'll call you tomorrow. So the next day I had a flight. The flight I was taking from Botswana to Ghana, where I met that guy, actually. That's the time I was taking that flight. So I was supposed to call her the next day, but it was a 22-hour flight, and in Ethiopia, there was no service, so I couldn't call her. So I called her the day after. Immediately, I landed in Ghana. So she's the first person I called. I'm like, hey, blah, blah, like, are you free to talk? And she tells me, you were supposed to call me tomorrow. You were supposed to call me yesterday. You didn't call me yesterday, which she was very right about. And she said, I have the Met Gala. And she was like, this is the last time I'm speaking to you. Have a nice life. And she hung up, which I was very saddened by the situation, right? But I was like, if that's how she truly feels, because I respect people's space. So I was like, if that's how she truly feels, fine, it's okay. So I let it go. So after that, like a few months, things started going very badly for me. Things started going haywire, and I didn't think it was. I thought it was because of the situation. Let me not lie, but I was like, also it can be sure. So I was like, let me go, because also having someone like Naomi Campbell not liking you in the industry is not a good thing. So I went to her, I apologized. I already apologized when the situation had happened, but I went and I apologized again and again. I started calling her, I started texting her, and then one day she just texted me and she was like, stop calling me. I have a child to take care of. So after that, I just said, okay, there's nothing I can do about it. I started drinking. That's why I even quit alcohol. I started drinking. I started drinking a lot. Yeah. And then, because I wasn't sure why things were going so wrong, and I couldn't put my finger on it. And then a few months later, I met Edward Enifo at a party, and Edward Enifo is oh my goodness, he's one of the people I adore the most. So I was like, oh my goodness, that's Edward, I have to go say hi. So I'm like, hey Edward, I'm such a big fan. And he looks at me, he's like, I know you. And then he said something that made me think the situation with Naomi was causing like some of the trials and tribulations I was currently going through. So I was like, you know what, I need to fix this. So I went to one of our mutual friends and I was like, hey, please, can you tell Naomi, because I knew they were going on holiday together. So I was like, hey, can you please tell Naomi to text me? And she was like, yeah, I'll make sure, and blah, blah. So a couple of days went by, and then Naomi finally texted me, and she was like, yeah, I let that go a long time ago. I'm not one to hold a grudge. She sent me a very lovely text. She said, Happy New Year. So after that happened, this was the New Year 2023. So after that happened, every single step I made, every single move I made, I told Naomi. Every single thing I did, I told Naomi. I would breathe. I tell Naomi, whether she would reply or not, I would send her a message, because I didn't want what happened to happen again. And after some time, after a few weeks, I called my mom and I was like, this isn't normal. This doesn't feel healthy. It kind of feels, it doesn't feel too nice. There's nothing healthy or normal about this. And I was like, I don't want to be in a situation like this. So after that, I just decided it is healthier for me to completely remove myself from the situation and get myself out. And you remember earlier when I said my friends said, the ones Naomi had introduced me to, when they said, oh, Naomi had made you. Remember when I said that? So I just want to acknowledge that and say that even through all this, right, even through everything that happened, first of all, number one, obviously I played a part in it because I am part of the story. In any situation you are in, you play a part, you play a role, and I had my role, and I apologize for my role. And something else, when she said she made me, I'm not going to speak on that, but I will say that Naomi did give me a lot of credibility, especially when I first entered the industry. She gave me a lot of credibility. And that's not something that I can just say, oh, you know, this happened and Naomi, blah, blah, blah. I can't say that. She did hold me up high, and she introduced me to a lot of people. She made me feel special. She did a lot of things for me. So I wouldn't say she made me, but she did play a big role in a lot of the things that I did in that space during that time. So yeah, me and her, we're not friends, we're not enemies, we're not anything, just not really in association. So we're just strangers.
Well, after that video, she went on X. I still call it Twitter. She tweeted a few things and also responded. So let's continue. Elsa tweeted, "To everyone worried about the future of my career, know I came to peace with everything. As I said, I don't want to be controlled. I'm just a happy free bird that minds my business. And you won't be silenced. Your sanity comes first. Bingo. You do, I say. Nothing more, nothing less. Baby, we saw in your demeanor in that video that this is still a sensitive topic for you." She responded, "I hope after sharing you are able to start healing." She responded, "I already healed. I cut communication with her and decided no job or money was worth the embarrassment and trauma." Talking about Naomi Campbell's situation was very hard and scary for me. But I don't want to be owned by someone else, and I want to acknowledge a lot of big hits and blows in my career came from another Black woman and not my own incompetence, okay? From 19 years old too, she made me an alcoholic and full-blown depressed. Oh my gosh. It's now time to heal and be happy. Wow, that was a lot. I wish her healing, and once again, allegedly from my end, okay? Because that's her story. I can't sit here and say, oh, she's not telling the truth. And of course, we don't know what Naomi Campbell would have to say, but I do wish her healing in all of this. You know, she's worked hard and she's also made a name for herself. So I'm sure regardless of the repercussions from this, she will be fine. I'm wishing all of you well and take care. My loves, thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.